Hi, welcome to Oma's No Sugar Kitchen.
Oregano.
Let's make some no sugar banana and coconut popsicles. Before I start any new set of popsicles, I make sure there's room in my freezer for them to sit flat on my cookie tray. I want them to sit without wobbling. So sometimes I have to rearrange the stuff that's in there to make sure that they don't lean when they're freezing. Make sure they fit, and then I'm ready to go. These are all my supplies for the banana coconut popsicles. Each of these baggies contains 2 sliced frozen bananas. So this is a total of 6 bananas for 12 popsicles. Half a banana per popsicle. I slice them and freeze them 2 at a time, so they're always in the freezer when I need them. I use light coconut milk, and it's unsweetened, so I will add monk fruit, but it won't take much. Bananas are pretty sweet on their own. Plus I have a heavy whipping cream here, and it contains no sugar as well, but cream also adds a little bit of sweetness. Here's the monk fruit I'm using, and I have some vanilla extract here, and a little bit of coconut extract. You don't want to use much. There's a fine line between just enough coconut flavor and suntan lotion. I have my large measuring cup, and into that I'm going to put 1 cup of the coconut milk, 1 cup of the heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of the vanilla extract, and between 1/2 and 1 teaspoon of the coconut extract. I didn't really have a choice here, I was almost out of it. Lightly whisk all of this together. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of monk fruit. This works out to about a teaspoon of monk fruit per popsicle. Whisk it all together one last time to make sure it blends well. And this is the entire mixture that goes with the bananas. I fill the container for my Ninja blender with one of the baggies of frozen bananas and 2/3 of a cup of the cream mixture. I check the measurements on the side to make sure I have the right amount in there. After the first batch, I have 1 1/3 cups left. After the second batch, I have 2/3 of a cup left. 3 batches makes a dozen popsicles. I close up my container, use my little Ninja blender, and blend it up. Now I can start filling my popsicle molds. You can see this beautiful mixture comes out like a soft serve ice cream, and sometimes we actually use it for that. I put it in the freezer and partially freeze it, and it comes out great. This is the favorite flavor of all the popsicles I make. As I'm filling these, I sort of spread out the mixture into each popsicle, and when I'm done, I kind of smooth out the surface. Now this is for the first batch, which is more frozen than the last batch. The last batch I can just pour in there, and I'll show you that here. I add in the last 2/3 of a cup of cream. I'm also going to put the actual recipe up here for you. Once my 3 batches are complete, these go in the freezer for about 30 to 40 minutes to partially freeze before we add the sticks. A bunch of sticks came with my popsicle molds as part of the kit, but I ordered more. I'm going to use my big spatula to pull these floppy molds off of the cookie sheet, And you can see the little slits there at the bottom. That's where the sticks go in. And then there's this little part that hangs out, and the stick actually sits on that part. So it holds the stick in place while they finish freezing. The first time I used these molds, I had to use a little paring knife to kind of cut open those little slits that go into the mold itself. They were sort of sealed shut. Now I've used them a bunch of times and it works just fine. You push the stick in just far enough so that it can sit on the little part that sticks out. And so you know it goes into the same place every time. I use my big pizza spatula to put it back on the cookie tray. You can see this one is part of the third batch that I did that wasn't quite as frozen, and a little bit leaked out there, but it's fine. I just push the stick right through it and it'll finish freezing up. When all of the sticks are in, they go back on my cookie tray. And to make sure they're good and flat, and they go back in the freezer for a good 3 to 4 hours. Usually about the 3.5 hour point is when I take them out and bag them up. This is a little later in the evening, 3.5 hours later. So the light in my kitchen is not quite as bright, but I wanted to show you these as I get them out of the molds. I'm lucky if 12 of these make it into the freezer because usually somebody wants one as soon as I get them out of the molds. These bags came with my popsicle kit, and you don't have to use these. I'm just using them because I have them. You could use regular Ziploc sandwich bags. But I'm going to bag these up. There's a little bit of adhesive here at the top, but let me get the popsicle in there first. It looks so professional with these bags. I pull the adhesive off and then seal individual popsicles. And then I put them in a larger bag to put them in the freezer. I make these a lot, 12 at a time, and I can't seem to keep them in the house. My guys are usually getting into the freezer after dinner to grab one as a dessert. They are really good. Thank you for making no sugar, banana, and coconut popsicles with me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. There's good stuff coming. Thank you for joining me in Oma's Kitchen. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll upload more tasty videos soon. And a special shout out to Moon Pie and Lil Bit. Till next time.
Oregano.